If you told any of the people round here that Bryan Membrey spends most of his spare time drawing pictures for children's books, they probably wouldn't believe you, and you couldn't blame them. He's got a fearsome reputation as a fighter, and until 3 years ago he was one of the most promising young boxers in the Ambrose Palmer stable. Now he's given the whole thing away, and many people wonder why. 4 times he was Victorian amateur champion, and before he retired he was #1 contender for the Australian lightweight crown. Now he wants to be an artist, but it hasn't been as easy to notch up successes in the illustrating business as it was in the boxing ring. He's been forced to publish his first book, Mr. Mugglywump, himself, and he's chosen to promote it among the fight people.
Tell me what this is here.
What's that?
Well, you should know what that is.
Hanson. Mousy.
Is that a mousey?
What?
It's Teddy. This is Teddy, isn't he? Look at that, Damien. This couple of scratches. Isn't he a funny old fellow?
Bryan, are you trying to say that all boxers are basically softies under the skin, deep down?
I think they're very human people. They're possibly more so than most others because of the hardships that they have to go through. It's probably the hardest business in the world, without a doubt. And for that reason, I think they have a great understanding of humanity.
I wonder why it is then that the public never see the sentimental side of boxers.
Well, possibly because they don't pay to go and see the sentimental side. They pay to go and see the vicious side. Some pay to see the vicious side, some pay to see the skillful side, which is, to my mind, the best side of it.
Well, why did you decide to get out of it?
Well, I found it, I was just too mentally tired with it, and I wanted to go on further with my artwork and studies and so on, and I found that the two didn't mix.
You must have been pretty close to success as a boxer. I mean, big success.
Yes, I was right on the verge of it. I turned my back on it virtually when I was just about due to crack the big time, and it sort of gave me a bit of a trauma, I think, for later on in life, because I felt that I should have had something and I didn't, and I had to start off afresh. I had to start off afresh and really make it in this art world, and so it hasn't been all that easy. But I am glad, personally I'm glad that I'm out of the game. I think it's a very, very hard sport, and I'm quite happy to be doing what I'm doing now.
Well, how tough have you found it trying to make your way in the art world? It's tougher than in the boxing game?
It's extremely tough. It's a very, very tough game. It's like everything else, though. It just requires hard work, and if you get the break, it's good and proper. The success comes, I think, but it's just hard work, as it was in the boxing. But the only trouble in the boxing game, you must have that toughness of body and spirit and head. And brother, it's hard to keep that going all the time. With the art game, I mean, all you've got to do is work and think. But the fight game, you've got so much to lose physically.
Well, now, why are you publishing this children's book yourself?
Well, for the simple reason I approached 2 or 3 publishers a couple of years ago, and they had a look at the work, and I never even got any comment back from them. One particular publisher had it for 6 months, and he never had the courtesy to even send it back. I wrote 3 times, and I eventually didn't get it back. I suspect that he never even reviewed it or looked at it. So I was disgusted, and I felt there and then that I would go right ahead and do this myself. And this is just exactly what I've done.
You're obviously very determined to make a success of your work as an artist.
It's no good being half-hearted. I think you've got to show determination and fight and spirit, as in the fight game.
Bryan Membrey's reputation as a fighter will stand him in good stead. It always has. But now that he wants to succeed outside the ring, he's obviously got some tough workouts ahead.